So how do you remove a villager's job? Well, let's show you. Okay, so here's a village that I have been to before, and we have some villagers. Now these ones I actually placed down, but there are more. And as you can see right now, they don't have a job. It's because it's too early in the morning. I'll set it at 2,000. Alright, yeah, you see, you got a job. Okay, so you know, of course, I hope that villagers get their jobs from these job blocks. You know, that's a job block, that's a job block. You can just Google search all the different job blocks. There's quite a few. Nope, one of these is going to become a farmer, I think. Nope, nope, someone else must have... Nope, okay, alright, he is. It's only one per block, job block site, so each one has one that they're assigned to, and that's theirs. Now, as far as removing their job, it's about removing their block. However, there are a couple of nuances you might encounter while doing this. So let's go ahead and remove these blocks. See, they're no longer librarians anymore. Place them down, they'll turn into librarians again. Now, one thing you might have noticed is the time of day does affect whether or not it will remove them. So, like earlier in the morning or at night, it probably won't do it. Kind of like later morning towards midday-ish, you know, that's when they're kind of job looking and everything. And they'll remove right then. So that's a good time to do it. Now there's another issue which actually might cause this, and this actually has to do with bed locations. Now let's go into one of these houses and see if we find a job block site. Yes, we did. Okay, here's a job block site. Now let's pretend there was a bed in here, and it spawned naturally with this house. Now a villager, you know, how many villagers you have and how often they breed is dependent on how many beds they have. They each have to have a bed. So like, you know, you assign a block to a villager for its job, but in a way, a bed is assigned to a villager for where it lives. Now, suppose their job block site is like out there and their bed is right here. Sometimes they have a hard time pathfinding to their beds or to the job block sites because their beds or the job block site aren't close enough. They're in the wrong places. It's weird, but they do that, and they like to go back to the same bed. Even when you put beds like close to them and their bed's far away, they like to go back to their original bed. So what you need to do actually is go and remove their bed. Get rid of, you know, in fact, I'll tell you one thing. When I start working on a village, when I find one, the first thing I do is I go remove all job block sites and I remove all beds. That's important. Because you don't want to mess with the bad pathfinding. You want to do it yourself. And then after all I've done that, then I'll go find the bell, which is right here. And then I'll put the beds and job block sites in close proximity to the bell. That way they can find their beds and their job block sites easy. And if you need to remove them to reset them, it's easy as well. And they typically have very few problems with pathfinding when you do that. And so what I'd actually do here is I'd actually extend this out, make it like a big platform, and they really do well when there isn't a whole lot of vertical up and down going back and forth. They really like flat ground. Try to keep the ground flat. That also becomes very helpful when it comes to breeding. In case you put like a bunch of beds down and you give them a bunch of bread, they do a lot better when it all costs close proximity, and it's good to keep things near the bell. Anyway, so yeah, that's a couple of extra tips. A little bit more than what this video really needed to be about, but at least now you know how to remove a villager's professions. It's by removing that block. But if you do have problems, removing the beds helps as well. That's something important. And the time of day does make a difference. You saw I typed in 2,000. Not long after morning is probably the best time. And later towards evening, I think it is when noon to evening is when they tend to like to congregate around the center. And at that time, they tend to not job seek as well. Okay, well, that's all. And if you have questions about this, you can ask them in the comments below. And that's it for now.